Right now, your brain is probably doing something funny. You're watching this video, but at the same time, a small voice in your head is saying, "Am I wasting time? Should I be doing something more important? What if I forget this later?" If that's happening, congratulations, you're already part of the topic. Overthinking isn't something your brain does sometimes. For many people, it's something the brain does all the time, like a background app that never closes. And here's the twist. Overthinking doesn't mean your brain is weak. It usually means your brain is trying too hard to protect you and messing things up in the process. Let's talk about why that happens. Think about the last time you sent a simple text. Maybe something harmless like, "Okay," and then silence. No reply. 5 minutes pass. Your brain says, "They're busy." 10 minutes pass. Your brain says, "They're mad." 30 minutes later, your brain has already written a full Netflix series about how you ruined a relationship, offended their family, and will now die alone. Nothing actually happened, but your brain acted like everything happened. That's overthinking. From a science point of view, your brain is a prediction machine. Its main job is not happiness. Its job is survival. Thousands of years ago, the humans who survived were the ones who asked, "What if something goes wrong? What if that noise is a predator? What if the tribe rejects me? What if I make the wrong move?" The brain learned one simple rule. Thinking ahead keeps you alive. The problem is your brain never got the update that you're not living in the jungle anymore. So today, instead of worrying about lions, it worries about emails. Instead of social rejection, meaning death, it feels like embarrassment, but your brain reacts the same way. That's why overthinking feels so intense. Your body reacts as if there's danger, even when you're just lying on your bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying a conversation from 3 years ago. And yes, everyone has that one conversation. Now here's something interesting. Overthinking doesn't usually hit when you're busy. It hits when things finally slow down. All day you're okay. Then you lie down at night, and suddenly your brain says, "Perfect. Now we think." That's because when there's silence, your brain turns inward. It starts replaying memories, predicting futures, and judging past decisions. Psychologists call this the brain's default mode. Overthinkers have this mode turned up to maximum volume. That's why people say, "I'm tired, but I can't sleep." The body is exhausted. The brain is wide awake, holding a meeting that nobody asked for. Now let's clear up a big misunderstanding. Overthinking is not a sign that you're bad at life. In fact, it often shows up more in smart, creative, and sensitive people. Why? Because smart brains don't stop at one outcome. They imagine 10. You don't just think, "What if this doesn't work?" You think, "What if it doesn't work, and then this happens, and then that happens, and then everything collapses?" Your brain has options. Too many options. So instead of choosing one, it freezes. This is why overthinking feels exhausting. You're mentally running simulations all day without moving an inch. And here's the sneaky part. Overthinking feels awful, but it also feels useful. Somewhere deep inside, your brain believes, "If I think about this enough, I'll prevent pain." So even when overthinking hurts, the brain prefers it over uncertainty. Uncertainty feels dangerous. Thinking feels productive. That's why telling yourself, "Just stop thinking," never works. It's like telling your brain, "Stop protecting me." Your brain won't listen. Let's talk about thoughts for a second. You have tens of thousands of thoughts every day. Most of them are repeated. Many of them are negative. And a lot of them are just wrong. But overthinking happens when you treat every thought like it's a fact. You think, "They didn't reply. They don't care." And your brain goes, "Sounds true. Let's panic." But a thought is not reality. It's just your brain making a guess. Here's a funny example. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgotten why you're there? Your brain just goes blank. But later, in the shower, it suddenly remembers everything, including things you weren't even asking for. That's because your brain doesn't work on command. It works on patterns and emotion. Overthinking isn't logic gone wrong. It's emotion driving logic in circles. A lot of people try to fix overthinking with distraction. Scrolling, music, binge watching shows they don't even like. And yes, it helped for a moment. But the second things go quiet again, the thoughts return. Why? Because avoidance teaches the brain that the thoughts are dangerous. And when something feels dangerous, the brain focuses on it more. That's why the more you try not to think about something, the more you think about it. So what actually helps? Not fighting your thoughts, not arguing with them, and definitely not judging yourself for having them. What helps is changing how you respond to them. Instead of saying, "Why am I like this?" you say, "Oh, my brain is predicting again." That simple shift matters because it creates distance between you and the thought. You stop being the thought. You start observing it. And when the brain realizes that a thought can exist without causing danger, it slowly calms down. This part surprises people. When overthinkers start to feel calm, it often feels uncomfortable at first. Silence feels strange. Peace feels boring. The brain asks, "Wait, are we missing something?" That's because chaos became familiar, and the brain mistakes familiar for safe. But calm is not emptiness. It's space. And space is where clarity comes from. Here's the most important thing to remember. Overthinking is not your enemy. It's a scared part of your brain trying to keep you safe in a world that no longer needs constant survival mode. You don't need to silence your mind. You don't need to control every thought. You just need to stop treating every thought like an emergency. Because the moment your brain learns, "I don't have to predict everything to be okay," something changes. The noise gets quieter, the loops get shorter, and for the first time in a long time, your mind feels like a place you can actually rest in. And honestly, that's not because you fix your brain. It's because you finally understood it.